I've got an old riddle for you.
Okay.
I cannot
it's
see.
a good one. Oh, sorry.
I'm building suspense. Come on.
Yeah, it's great.
I've got 60 seconds to fill. It's not that long.
Quick, hurry up.
I cannot see. I cannot wave. I'm not a man, and yet I shave. What am I?
Can you say it again?
I cannot see. I cannot wave. I am not a man, and yet I shave. What am I?
Shave. Your testicles.
No. Just no. Tune in next week's show for the answer. Bah!
You son of a bitch.
I wonder if anyone will know what it is.
I don't fucking know what it is.
Do you remember the Doug Anthony All-Stars?
I do remember the Doug Anthony All-Stars.
Yeah, it's one from them.
Press start.
It's a blind, crippled woman with a hairy back.
Okay then, well, on that note, let's start the show. This is episode 180, and today is Thursday, the 3rd of August 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Games Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogans. How are you, mate?
Episode 3. You've let me come back.
Episode 3 for
Shit,
you.
I must be doing something right, aren't I?
Well, if you can, well, you are doing something right. You're talking to me.
Talking to you, yeah.
If you count all of the episodes before the reboot, I've done over 200 episodes now.
Wow.
Well, I've done well over. I've probably done 220 odd, but 180 of the Express version of the Aussie Gamers podcast, which is pretty cool. So episode 180, 20 to go for the official 200. That's going pretty good. So that won't happen.
Do something a bit special for that one, I think.
That won't. That won't happen this year, will it? Oh no, it'll be fucking close.
Be close. Might
Very
end
close.
on a cliffhanger on 199.
It might. Who knows? I don't know. I've not looked it up, and I can't work out how mmany weeks we got left.
No, so I'm sure someone will write something stupid like, "Hey, it's only 7 more Fridays till Christmas. I hate you." Yeah,
That is a few more than 7,
might
but
be
anyway.
a few more than that, but still,
That's it.
they're about that happy about it.
Anyway, before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we'll do video game discussion, then we'll do video game news, and in this week's news, I've got a painful game of Magic, Better Together, and the rising prices of digital content. Then after the news, we'll do user-created content, then what's that sound, then last words. So, Snoogans, Patrick, video game discussion.
I've got a bit more this week.
Yeah, you
last
didn't
week.
have too much, but tell us what you've got.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with our little trip into sunny Sydney.
Yes, that's a highlight. It's the top of my list.
That's very much the top of my list for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Yes, we went to India, not Sydney.
That's right. Off to
Southern
India
Ghats.
to go and explore the jungle of Southern Ghats. Yes, mate, what a gorgeous game!
pretty.
So very, very Uncharted, very Naughty Dog. You know, we hold anyone who's plays on the PS4 holds Naughty Dog in this certain sort of light. And once again, they haven't let us down. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you've played the Uncharted games at all, you'll feel right at home. Everything's there. the tongue-in-cheek humour, the good banter between each other, the the combat, everything feels very familiar. The only thing that really doesn't feel familiar, though, is just the setting itself, because it's a complete open world, and you go and do things how you want to do it.
Yeah, that's it. But something you need to take into consideration, the part that we got to play was in the Western Ghats of India, and it was an open world setting where you could go where you wanted to, progress the story how you wanted to, when you wanted to, and do what you want. But if we think back to the original announcement of The Lost Legacy, that section of gameplay where you're playing as Chloe in that sort of like traditional robe, that was very linear. That was very Uncharted, that part. Do you remember the part I'm talking about?
No.
She's kind of like wearing like a hijab or something like that. I don't know if it's still set in India, but it starts off where you don't really know who it is because she's all covered up and cloaked up, and she's walking through the streets, and she gets hassled by a few male guards who give her a little bit of grief, but they eventually get interrupted by, I don't know, a phone call or something like that. And then she goes through up into the roof of the buildings, gets into, and I think she meets up with Nadine on the top of the building. They get into a fight, knock out the dudes, and then sort of that was the end of the little trailer gameplay sort of section. You haven't seen that?
I'm sure I have, but it's not ringing any bells.
Oh, okay. Well, that part of the game looks very linear, which is very likely going to be some sort of intro to The Lost Legacy, and then it'll open up and that's probably how Nadine and Chloe come together, and they probably plot to join forces and go and do whatever it is that the story will take them through in the main portion of The Lost Legacy. So when we played it, we just played that open world area, opened up, and we're in that world. You go to a central hub where you open up these doors, which is kind of like it's like a viewing platform where the doors open up and you look out and all that sort of stuff, and it shows you. I think those. Do you agree with me? Those sections that you see when those doors open up are like your main story locations. Yeah. So they're the story points. Yeah. Yeah. So there's three. Was it 3 or 4?
4.
3 or 4 main story locations which will progress the story should you go to those areas and do whatever it is that you need to do when you get there.
Yeah, there was 3 story points, and the 4th one was where you go and find about the coins.
Oh, that's
and
right.
The monkeys
the tokens.
that you can't shoot.
The monkeys that you can't shoot. That's right. Yes, you're right. But oh, sorry. You go.
I was going to say, one of the coolest things that we both noticed when we were playing there is at a few times we actually looked across. There was 3 of us on one side of the table playing, and each one of us was in a different section of the map.
Yeah, we did talk about that on the day where, there was, because in the room where we went in Sony, where it was kind of like a conference room where there was, like, the side we were on, there was 3 TV screens, they were 40-inch LCD things, and then on either end there was 1, and then on the other side there was another 3. So all these TVs set up on a big conference table, and it was interesting to look over and say we're all playing the exact same demo, but you were in a different spot to me, and the guy next to you was in a different spot, and the guy next to my left, he was on a completely different spot as well. That was the amazing part. That's the part that really hits home about it being open world, and basically you can decide which parts you're going to do whenever you want to, and they've made it so the story still flows. It still makes sense regardless of which direction you go.
Yeah, well, there was one section when they had subtitles enabled while the people were speaking. So there was a part where a cutscene was playing on my screen and I was in one part of the map. Mm-hmm. The same cutscene was playing on the guy next to me in a different part of the map.
Yeah, so, interesting how they've done that.
Yeah, so it was there was little differences in the scene as opposed to the setting of it, but the actual dialogue was exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of cool. And they were saying the bloke I've gone blank. What's his name from
Oh, Scott.
From Naughty Dog, Scott.
Scotty man. Scott. Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. It was Scott, someone. Did you want me to... You keep talking and I'll find it if you like.
Yeah, well, it was... He was telling us that within this open world area that if you don't want to progress the story any further, you can literally go and clear out an area of the bad guys, of the enemy, or you can go and hunt for some treasure, or hunt for these coins or collectibles or anything like that. So it gives you a lot more freedom just to get stuck into the world altogether and really play it your way, which is kind of cool. No?
I'm getting there.
Scott from Naughty Dog, a big shout out to you, mate. Thanks a lot for that. That was very cool.
Scott Lowe.
Scott Lowe, there you go.
Yes, Scott Lowe, good guy from Naughty Dog. Worked on the game, and he did a really good presentation for it as well. So we appreciate his time. Thanks for him to come down under to Australia, which is, I guess, is a blip on the map compared to the rest of the world, but took the time to come down and see us Aussies and have a chat with us, which was really cool. So.
Yeah, which is all very cool. Yep.
Lovely.
Anything else on that one you want to bring up or share?
I got a little bit more to say about it. Now, for people that are like super duper keen, the DLC, DLC, it's a dirty word, isn't it? The expansion.
We're deciding that's dirty. We're not going to call this DLC.
That's right. So the expansion of The Lost Legacy, I'm putting an educated guess out there that you're probably going to get a tad over 10 hours of gameplay here. And that's not just the story, okay? So it's not a full release game of 10 hours. So the story, I would probably say, like, main missions are probably going to be a couple of hours. But then coupled with all of the... Because it's quite a large open world. If I had to compare it to an open world in a game... Now, it's not as big as any open world fully fledged games. But
well, even if you have a look at the Madagascar level on Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
So it's roughly that size, but there's not a linear path through it.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they were saying. But I was going to, say? It's similar size. I don't know if you've played it to one of the levels in Sniper Elite 3.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Sniper Elite 4. 4 is the latest one, isn't it? I'm having a brain fart.
Yes.
Yeah, which have really, really massive levels. I'd probably liken it to that, if not a tad bigger. But so the gameplay is not necessarily going to come from just story missions, but there's a lot of puzzles in there as well, and the puzzles are very intuitive and physics-based as well. I'll give away one puzzle. There was a ledge where it kind of looked like I was to go up and walk onto this ledge. It was like a piece of 4x2 just sort of hanging out. I was like, why is that there? So I walked up to it and I looked around and I don't know what's going on. And I looked down and it had a grappling hook notification saying that I could grapple this, what looked like a massive manhole in the ground. And I thought, why is there a grappling hook on the ground? I can't swing from that because it's on the ground. It's not up in a tree or anything like that. So what I did is I pressed the button, grappling hooked onto it, and I was on top of that 2x4. So I positioned the rope around one side of the 2x4 and jumped off the other side of the 2x4, and my weight lifted that manhole off the ground. And it left a hole, and I jumped into the hole and picked up a coin.
That's
there
brilliant.
Goes. Bit of a spoiler there. I should have said spoiler alert.
That's only one puzzle out of what I'm sure is many.
Yeah, I guess so. I've spoiled that, sorry. But anyway, there's many different puzzles like that, but they're actually quite cool, intuitive. Intuitive, basically, by that I mean it's quite intricate how you need to work out the puzzle, but with a little bit of concentration and analysing the environment, you can work it out. It's not the sort of thing that you're going to have to go and Google, but it's not the sort of thing you go, oh, I've just got to press that button. So it's
yeah. Well,
it's
Uncharted's
ingenious.
always been very much like that. You've got to think about it.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, I've always felt like the puzzles in Uncharted were kind of just barriers between A and B. Whereas now with this open world setting, I feel like it's something I can do when I feel like it. It's not something that I'm forced to do this puzzle because I need to get through this door to go to the next level. Whereas I might be running around and be like, you know what, I don't really feel like having a big intense battle right now. I feel like trying to be witty and finding another token for me to go and add to the token collection, which if you get all of the collect all of the tokens, something happens. We don't know. And even if I did, I wouldn't spoil that because I reckon it's going to be something cool. I hope. I don't know. It could be shit. It could be lame. But unlikely. Yeah. So yeah, I had a good time playing Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. It's $54.95. Comes out
23rd, isn't it?
23rd of this month. So we're not too far away. We've got 20 days to go, if that's correct, from the time of recording. And it's out exclusively on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. It will have a physical release and a digital release, $54.95. So there you go. That's nice. all I got to say about that. What else have you got?
Still on Friday, mate. We had a bit of a boys' night, didn't we?
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, come round, a couple of drinks, booted up the old Xbox because it was feeling lonely, and got stuck into the Xbox Game Pass and got a bit more of a feel of just what it is and how it works and what's available on it. So we pretty much just got stuck into some retro stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, man. That Xbox Game Pass is winning me over.
Yeah, I'm slowly ticking my way through it and just playing different things and stuff that I've never seen before. I've wanted to get my hands on. So I think in the at the moment I'm up to about 98% of my hard drive is full.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
So it's filled up pretty quick. But two of the games that we downloaded was the Sega Vintage Collection, which was Alex Kidd and Company, and Monster World. Yeah,
that was a fantastic game to play.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't we both agree that Alex Kidd that should stay a nostalgia thing back when we were kids?
Yeah. Yeah, so much better memories were had, and that's where they can stay.
That's
and
right.
Moving on.
No, that's fine. Keep going.
There was one that come up that I thought, being that we've got a similar interest in the sort of games like Little Nightmares and Inside and all those sorts of one. There was one that looked similar. It looked similar until we started playing it.
Yeah.
And called Lumo.
Mm-hmm.
A very intriguing game. I have no idea what we did. I'm not sure if you had much more of an understanding of what was going on. It
started off a little... It looked better than it did in the main game. Like, there's like an intro where the game looks completely different to the actual game. It's like they made two games but got rid of the cool one. You start off as a little boy running around and he gets zapped into a telly or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets tronned.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And
so gets sucked into a computer game pretty much.
And then you play on really small, restricted, puzzly platform areas. A good game, but it just feels a little out of place on a console, on a big TV. I felt that game, Lumo, would be best played on a plane, on a train, in a car, on a PlayStation Vita, in automobiles. It feels like a mobile game.
It does, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like it should have been up on the big screen.
No,
it looks cool, but yeah, there wasn't all that much to it. But
it's bizarre. It's a weird game.
Yeah, I've had a bit more of a play since then, and yeah, I was just sort of sitting there going, "What am I doing? Why am I bothering?" It's just sort of put it down and then deleted it. The other one from from back in the day was King of Fighters. We had a bit of a belt around that for a little while. The big one that we both sat there having a laugh about, me probably more than you, was Splosion Man.
Splosion Man. Well, it was new for you. I already knew what to expect from Splosion Man, but you were giggling like a bitch the whole time.
Oh, mate, it's hysterical. I'm sure there was a few parts of it where you're sitting there, you're doing your countdown timer so that we can both jump up and explode and go up to the next level. And here's me running back and forward across the bottom of the screen because the little character's going, meow, meow.
Splosion Man is fantastic.
Oh, it is just stupid fun. That's the only way I can describe it. Mate, if anyone out there who hasn't tried it, it is an Xbox 360 backwards compat, but you've got to give it at least a go.
You've got to give it a go. It's a platformer where when you jump, you're actually exploding. You're an experiment gone wrong, and I think it's... Is it 2 or 4 players? I don't know. You can play it multiplayer.
Up to 4 players, yeah.
Up to 4 players.
Up to 4, yeah.
Geez, that'd be a fucking mess with 4 players.
Oh,
but it's a fun platformer game. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's funny. You blow up people like scientists because you're a bungled experiment by these scientists. And I think you're trying to escape is generally the idea of the game. And you got to explode off each other if you're playing it in co-op to try and get up higher and all that sort of stuff. Brilliant game. Hilarious too. Funny. Full of silliness is all I can say. And some of the levels got real hard, man, but we pushed through.
Yeah, we pushed through quite well. It did get to a point where I was like, I think this is getting a bit much now.
Yeah, but see, we're gonna finish that. We're gonna have to do a boys' night round 2. I'll come over. We'll finish it. We'll get it done.
Indeed.
Explosion Man, good game, real good game.
Another one from the Gamer Pass that I've been playing to finalise sort of the Game Pass side of things has been Lego Batman. Solely because I was sitting there on the couch with my little ones. My eldest is all about Batman, which is awesome.
I love that. That is fantastic.
That's fantastic. And so, she's even got Batman pajamas and everything. It's brilliant. So she saw Batman up on the screen, and that's what she wanted to play. So we downloaded it and had her sitting there with me. I put the co-pilot mode on and let her go nuts in the world and just helped out when needed to. And, she was just more excited about making Batman jump into the cars and drive around, and that was all fine by me. So that's the end for the Game Pass side of things. At the moment, anyone who's interested to have a look at Game Pass, I urge you to. It's 14 days free. So, you get a 14-day trial.
Yeah, just careful though, because that 14 days will go quick, and it's already up for me, and I'm very happy to let that keep rolling for a bit. I'm liking it. Yeah,
So I've got until the 11th. Then I think something like 11th or 9th or something like that. But at the moment, it'll roll for at least the next little while.
There's an interesting question I'd like to find out. See if you know it already. I think I know the answer. But can I have the Game Pass without gold?
Yes, as long as you're not wanting to play online, I think.
That's what I think. That's the logical answer. I would imagine that you could, but you just wouldn't be able to play any of them online. Yeah, I
dare say so. Yeah, because without gold, you can still do basic online stuff, can't you? I think you can still do voice chat and basic browsing and that, like at the store and whatnot.
I'm not sure. Generally, when I don't have gold, I don't touch my bloody Xbox.
No, fair enough.
But most of the time when I'm using it, I've got it, so I don't really know. Someone listening will no doubt know the answer to that. We'll see. Comment. Let us know you're there. Tell us if you know the answer. Comment on the pinned post on the Facebook page. That's the best place to put it. That'd be great.
Couple more levels.
Couple more what levels?
Levo. I don't know what a levo is. Levels in Halo 5. So just plugging through the story of that. And that's it for the Xbox side of things. Over on the PlayStation, Rainbow Six Siege, I've been putting a lot more hours into that, a lot more time into ranked play, still going up and down, and pretty much just farming renown at the moment and trying to get a bit better. Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry.
Oh yeah, the
PlayStation Plus game,
standalone expansion. Yeah. It's better than the DLC. Standalone expansion
for Black Flag. Yeah. I said on last week's show I was looking forward to a bit of a bite size of Assassin's Creed because I've never been able to plug my way through a full Assassin's Creed game, and having played a piece of the bite size, I'm already frustrated with it.
Oh really? What frustrates you?
The controls.
Oh, really?
They just seem to be clunky. They're weirdly laid out. They're not laid out like anything else I've played. I don't understand why. I can't get my head around a lot of it. I can't get my head around the combat. The combat at sea is phenomenal, but when I'm on the ground, I ended up dying and rage quitting. So
the best Assassin's Creed game for you will be Skull and Bones.
Yeah, probably.
Which is essentially Assassin's Creed, Sans the Assassins, and plenty of the high seas.
Yeah, just work out on being a pirate. That'll be that side of it. I think I'll just enjoy.
Me Andy first made a scurvy cur.
I'm plugging through Game of Thrones, which is last month's PS Plus title. I don't like Game of Thrones, but someone told me when they last gave away episode 1 that it was an easy platinum, so I played episode 1.
Oh yeah.
And now there's 21% of the trophies sitting there already done because I didn't realise that it was only episode 1 at the time.
Right, yep.
And so now it's like this burning thing in the back of my head that it's a stupidly easy platinum and I have to get through it even though I don't like Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, look, I've played the first episode of Game of Thrones on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I played the second on the Xbox. I like Game of Thrones. The only thing for me is Telltale games are getting so fucking long in the tooth for me. I really want to play it because I know that the Game of Thrones Telltale story is going to be good. But it gets to the point where I'd rather just watch it. The mundane tapping and pushing of buttons feels like it's there to justify it being a game. It's just, it's boring. I literally played the first episode just so I could get through it, so I can get up to where I'm actually up to in the Game of Thrones Telltale series.
Yep.
I literally sat on my iPad scrolling through Reddit whilst not even paying attention but mashing buttons on my controller. I think I died 4 times, but I finished the first episode.
Yeah, I was doing that with episode 2 the other night. It got to a stage where I'm like, okay, yep, let's get into this. Let's try and get into the story. Everyone tells me the story's fantastic. Anytime I tell anyone that I don't like Game of Thrones, I'm questioned and ridiculed and blah 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 blah. I was a big fan of Game of Thrones. The last few series I feel have been dragging on a bit. The new one, the current one's going well. I'm enjoying it, but I don't blame you for not liking it. It's not for everyone because there is a lot of talking, and a lot of the dialogue is really good. Like, it's well done dialogue. Yeah. But some of the dialogue is just shut the fuck up. It depends on the characters. Some of the characters mesh well and are interesting. Some of them aren't. Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the subject too. I'm not all that excited about it, but like for instance, in regards to TV shows or whatnot, there was one that did 5 seasons called Falling Skies, which is aliens come in and take over the world. Yeah, it's all sci-fi. I ached for the next season to come out and the next episode, and it was that sort of one was. So I can understand people's absolutely loving and waiting for the next Game of Thrones episode. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. But mind you, Cersei, I don't know if you know who Cersei is in Game of Thrones, but she gets her tits out again and you see a full-on, like, naked butt shot, which is really cool.
Okay.
So you might want to watch episode 3. Okay. Yeah, I suppose. Porn's a dime a dozen these days. So you don't even need to pay. It's free. You just cop an ad. Cop an ad in your face every now and then, as long as it's an ad and not something else in your face. Schlap.
I tried to play Fortnite.
Oh, did you?
On the PS4. I tried to play it. I downloaded it where it said it was free.
Yeah.
After we tried it originally, 2 weeks ago, Repamir, I was watching his stream one afternoon, and he goes, yeah, man, get in there, get downloaded again. That was where it said you couldn't play. That was an issue they fixed. So I'm like, all right, no worries. I'll jump in.
I've tried it again since.
Yeah, as have I. It's not fixed. There's no issue there. It's just still in early access. That's all it is. It's still
in early access, but you need to purchase like one of their founders packs or whatever to get access. I saw one of their packs was $215.
I know, right?
What the fuck? It's a free-to-play game when it releases next year. What the fuck is $215 worth of value to add to a free-to-play game?
I got no idea. Maybe because I think you can play it from now. But I think it opens up after the 24th anyway.
Like this thing, if I pay $215, I want access to the game, and I want somebody to come over and clean my house while I'm fucking playing it and doing nothing else. That's rich!
Oh, it's a bit steep. Even the basic one's 50 odd, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit steep, and it's for a free to play game that I'll probably play for a couple of hours.
I would like to help you test your game in its early stages, but I don't want to pay you for the privilege.
Yeah.
If I was a rich son of a bitch, I would, because it actually looks like a really good game. A building co-op game. Play with 4 of your mates, and you build things, and you go out and attack shit. It sounds really cool.
It's a pretty much a wave defense game.
Yeah, it sounds and looks good. I've seen it before it was released in early access, and I thought I liked the look at it. Mind you, Pat, I don't know if you saw the email. I did reach out to the devs to see if we could get some sort of access.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard anything yet. I'll keep you posted.
Sounds good.
But I really do want to try it, but I don't have that kind of coin to throw away at a free-to-play game.
No, exactly. I'm a bit on the same boat with that one. Last but not least, in the sale, I finally picked up Dying Light.
Oh, you did?
I did, and we had a run around on it. And
most of the time you did. The bloody tutorial.
Yeah, that bloody thing took for a while, didn't it?
Took like a good hour.
Just kept going. Here, fetch mission. Go and get me a glass of water.
Maybe you just sucked at it.
No, I didn't die. There was no way to die.
Yeah, I suppose.
I was just go and do this, go and do that, go and do this. Excuse me. But, the Dying Light, the full enhanced edition, I think it's called.
Yes.
So it's got all the DLC. It's got Bozak's Horde.
The following.
The Freedom. The following, it's got all that sort of stuff within it. Still on sale at the moment, I think, until the 18th.
That is a lot of game for $25.
Yeah.
And
it still looks good. It doesn't feel like 2 years old, I think it is.
2.5.
It doesn't feel it at all.
No,
definitely. It still
not.
looks fantastic. It plays fluid. Still gives me the bit of the vertigo feel when you, let's call it jump, even though you fall off most shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the higher you climb up on something that's like a tall tower or whatever, the more you sway because of the wind and all that sort of stuff, and he's a little bit unsteady. Oh, it gives you that kind of real feeling of height. It's probably the closest thing that I've ever felt to actually feeling like you're really high up without it being VR. Yeah.
So it's
amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. And as it is, I'm sitting playing it in front of a 28-inch screen monitor, and I'm sitting 2 foot away from it, so it's nearly VR anyway. It's Yeah, definitely a lot of game and a lot of fun. A lot more fun with another person.
I feel kind of responsible for you dropping the coin on it, because I kind of did say, "Go get it, get it, get it, get it, get it." So
yeah, I'll stop complaining about what's that one that you like?
Trials Fusion.
No, The Last of Us.
Oh.
I'll stop complaining about that if you go and get it. I've reinstalled The Last of Us.
No, but yeah. So you like it?
I'm really enjoying it, mate. It is a lot more fun with another person, probably because you're stupidly OP for the level that I'm at. But,
yeah, and I'm helping you out a bit too with giving you some cool stuff just to get you going. But mind you, you haven't seen anything yet. The story is actually very thoughtful. There's the story is there, which a lot of games it's quite pedestrian. You get good gameplay, but the story's sort of there just for the sake of putting something to a game.
Yeah, well, I kicked on a bit the other night, so yeah, I put another 2 hours into it.
Yeah, nice. The story ramps up. It gets real good. It gets real in depth. Side missions are actually meaningful and are actually really hard hitting. They're not just silly fetch quests like go and get me a drink of water. The fetch quests or the side missions actually tell stories themselves, and they're amazing. Like you've done the Ghazi one, which is probably the most notorious one. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody happy unless Mama's happy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've done a lot, if not all, of the side missions, and I've done them several times because I'm up to the last mission on my New Game Plus, and it blows me away. Blows me away when I play those missions. Brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm loving it, mate, and many more hours will be stuck into that one.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's it for me. No Division this week. I'm slowly weaning myself off it. Although I got a few messages earlier tonight going, "Oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?" So yeah, there might be a few nights this week that'll be on. But yeah, mate. So that's it for me.
You're the man to go to, I should say.
Yeah.
All right. So let me punch through what I've had to play this week. So we'll cross off Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. We've rambled on about that one. The next one I've got on my list is Candleman. I talked about that last week.
You did?
I finished it this week.
Okay. And
the last level is epic. It is amazing. The disappointing thing is, I wish the rest of the game was like that.
Epic how? Explain what you mean by epic.
Epic, basically the last level is a massive chase scene where you're being chased. And you're running.
It's an adrenaline rush.
It is, and then the things are exploding. The ground is breaking away from you. You're climbing up big cogs or gears and making your way up them, and it's actually really dynamic how it works, and it's actually really brilliant looking. But it just made me look back at the rest of the game beforehand thinking that was fucking boring as shit.
How long did it take you to get to that last point, though?
Well, I played it in a few sittings, but I reckon if you went start to finish, you might be looking at 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
Okay. Does it give you a sensation of building? Like, for instance, spoiler alert for Little Nightmares if anyone hasn't played it. There's a big chase scene in that, and that's the second last level, I believe. But it sort of builds to it. Like each section's a little bit more intense than the last.
No.
Do you get that? It's just bland and then bang.
No. Yeah, pretty much. It's a good game. You start off the game and you go, oh, this looks really nice. And like I said, the disappointing again is the game is actually really pretty. but you're predominantly playing it in the dark. You don't see anything because that's the premise for the game. And it's you got to use your candlelight to see, but if you burn up all your wax, you die. So you're sparingly using the light so you don't die. So you're never really taking in the really good visuals. It gets slightly harder. There were a few things that killed me along the way, but they were kind of like, okay, that was a little bit of a trickery thing there, you son of a bitch. And it's slow. Basically it started off as ridiculously, stupidly easy, and then made its way up to easy. There wasn't really any challenge now, and every level has candles in it to collect. You light the candles as a collectible. Now, there's quite a few of them that I got all of them. Mm-hmm. But the majority of the levels I missed one or two. So there's replayability there. Those one or two might be tricky to get. But most of the time, I never really looked. It's not how I play. I don't look for collectibles when I play the first time round. I play the game, and then if I like the game, I'll go back and do the collectibles.
Yep.
With this one, I don't really have any interest in going back for the few candles that I missed, because it wasn't, the level design wasn't there. It was good at best. Would I pay $20 for it? I did pay $20 for it, but if I was to, would I recommend paying $20 for it? No. I would say recommend? I would say, look, on a sale, if you can get this for under a tenner, go for it. Bargain. But yeah, for $20, brand new now. It's only just been out a week or two. I'd give it a bit till it's on sale, because it's not anything that's going to blow you away. Sorry,
I was going to say, being it's about the same length as a movie. Would you say, that $12 to $15 mark would have been a better spot to start it at, or? Yeah,
okay. Absolutely. But the thing is, though, if you compared, so if you look at Little Nightmares, that's something comparable to a freaky movie that you and I would watch as adults.
Yeah.
This Candleman would equate to a scary movie for children. It's not really scary. Okay. It doesn't. I said I envisaged it getting dark.
Getting darker, yeah.
It doesn't get dark, so to speak. It gets like childishly evil. I feel like we're dealing with a Cruella de Vil or a Beauty and the Beast or something. Like, it's just cartoon horror.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's not scary.
So I could see where the intrigue came from, at least.
Yeah, not a bad game. I don't want to give that vibe off at all. It's not bad. It's just when you've got things to compare, like Little Nightmares, like Limbo, like Inside, you can't put Candleman in that category.
It just didn't reach the heights you wanted to.
Nah. Unfortunately, no.
No, it's a shame.
But there you go. So that's my thoughts on Candleman. I went and thought, you know what? I've been way too lazy with my PlayStation VR. I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to play some more VR stuff. So I tried the London Heist.
Yep, you spoke about that one last week as well.
Did I say I played London Heist? Or my friend?
Yeah.
Or I watched my friend play it?
I'm not sure. I thought you said you played it.
Oh, I can't remember.
Had the... Anyway, remind us what it's about.
Well, I don't know. Look, the main thing I want to point out is that London Heist really does hit home as to why I'm so angry with PlayStation VR. Because London Heist is fantastic. I did talk about London Heist last week. That's right. And I remember I left it on here because I wanted to mention, I should have wrote this on my notes. The really awesome 3D sound. I think I told you this at your place. There's a section in London Heist where you pick up a mobile phone and you answer it. You're holding a VR controller. What do you call it? A Move controller. So you pick up the phone and you got to hold it to your ear so you can hear it. And the really cool thing is that I swapped hands with the phone and brought it around to my other ear, and the sound perfectly merged to my other ear as I moved it around. Really good feature. But that's what pisses me off about VR, is that this London Heist was so bloody good, but it only went for like 20 minutes, and they don't make more games like that. I think I did say that last week. This is what's reminding me. But I went another step forward and played Spider-Man Homecoming, the VR experience.
Yes, the Vomit Simulator 2017.
No, it's fucking shit.
Oh, okay.
That is probably the worst VR experience I've had. That felt like I'd gone into a $2 shop. What are the $2 shops here like? Oh, they probably don't exist anymore. Clint's Crazy Bargains and all that sort of shit. The Reject Shop.
Yeah.
And I've bought Spodemon. Who has a Batman symbol on his chest or some shit. Like, it felt like the cheap imitation bullshit. It was rubbish. It was free.
It was but it was so talked up as being like this companion to the movie, and everyone's raving about the movie.
I watched the movie too. I watched the movie this week. I took my daughter to watch it. The movie was good. I didn't mind the movie. This Spider-Man Homecoming VR is the most pathetic. It felt like I got a free disc in my cereal with a free game on it. I put the cereal disc in my computer, and it was like a knockoff. It just felt cheap and shit. Yep. Basically, what you do in it, you start off, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a little bit like Batman. Batman VR or Arkham VR. Oh, what was that game called?
Batman. Yeah, Beat the Batman or something.
Batman VR. Oh, I don't know. Whatever the Batman one is. I thought, it's going to be like that because there was the Spider-Man suit that you get from... Well, that Spider-Man or Peter gets off...
Tony.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It's in the case. He opens it up and there's the mask, and it says put the mask on. So you grab it and you put it on. I'm like, that reminds me of when I was doing that in Batman. I thought, that's cool. Put the mask on. All good. Then he puts the full suit on, and then a mirror pops up and he says, admire yourself. And you look in the mirror and there's Spider-Man, and you can move around, and he like moves with your movement because you're using the move controllers in your hand, and you got the VR on your head, so it's all tracking and moving. It's really cool. Then that disappears, and it's basically a tutorial, and the tutorial says, right, this button changes the type of web, this button slings, and you point and you shoot. So the first one says shoot the bottles, so you shoot the bottles, and then it says blow up the debris, so you blow up the debris, and then you use the web slinging thing to grab posters and pull them off the wall. So like, okay, it's taught me how to use all these different web slinging things. And then at the end of the tutorial it says, right, now there's an explosion in the background, so you're like, okay, I'm going to have to investigate that. I then use the web thingy and sling up onto a crane, and while I'm on the crane, is it Vulture? Who's Vulture? Vulture comes flying over. He shoots at you, breaks part of the crane, and you fix you try to change the web, but you can't change. The web just changes with what's happening in the game. So you fix the crane, the sky crane that's broken, and a helicopter flies over. It tells you to grab onto the helicopter. You do that. You swing down through like the city streets, and the credits roll. I've just spoiled the entire VR experience for you. That's it.
Oh,
I don't know why.
35 seconds, yeah.
Why did it have a tutorial when the tutorial is the only place you use any of that shit? Why does it have a button on how to switch the modes on your web slinger when you can never use it?
Maybe it'll be like that Ghostbusters experience where there's an episode 2 coming soon that never seems to be coming.
I'd want to go for a little bit more than fucking 38 seconds.
The Ghostbusters one doesn't. Not much longer.
Dearie me. But anyway, so that's the thing that's pissing me off about VR. Give me some actual games, not fucking experiences. But that was a bad experience, though. That wasn't cool.
Yeah. That sounds a bit shocking.
It is. It's shit house. All right, now let's get off games. I'm going to tell you a little bit. I like to do things outside of actually playing video games. This week, going back probably about 2 or 3 weeks, I ordered some new buttons for my PlayStation 4 controller. Mm-hmm. And you may have already seen the video. Did you see the video?
Well, I haven't actually had a chance to see the video.
Okay, it is available.
But I've seen the picture.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page. It's got a few views on it, which is really cool, and also on YouTube if you want to go and check it out. Anyone listening. But what I did is I pulled apart a DualShock 4 controller and I replaced the buttons. So the face buttons, the X, square, triangle, circle buttons have been replaced. They're all green. The thumbsticks are green. The PlayStation button's green. The D-pad's green. Share and options is green. And R1, L1, R2, L2 are all green as well. In case you didn't know, like a lime green colour is probably my favourite colour. I like a lime green.
I kind of picked up on that seeing the picture, yeah.
Yeah, and hence my Astro A10s being the Xbox One.
Green ones, yeah.
I like the green. Yeah, I just did it for a bit of fun. The controller, there was nothing wrong with the controller, but I wanted to do it. But it was also, I've been interested in doing my own little mods at home because Relentless Controllers Australia has got me interested as well. They're selling parts like faceplates at the moment, which I have also purchased the blood spatter faceplate.
It was you that got it.
It was me. Yeah, you saw the post where it said that it was that one's taken. I wanted
the red one. I wanted that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I bought it. That's why it's taken.
Yep.
They offered it to me first up because they put a post up probably a couple of months ago now that they were looking at getting the faceplates on, and I contacted them and said, "Look, I'm interested in your faceplates. Let me know when you get them. I want one." So they messaged me first and said, "Hey, these are what we've got. Did you want one?" And I said, yeah, cool. That one looks good. I'll take that. So I did a little bit of a practice. So I ripped a DualShock 4 apart. I've done it before, but only to change the thumbsticks. This time I changed all of the buttons, which is essentially what I'm going to need to do to change the faceplate. So I know that I can do that relatively easy. When the faceplate does arrive, I'll do another video on how to do that. Well, not necessarily a how-to, but more so just showing me do it, which will generally give you a gist on how to do it. But that was really cool. It looks cool. I like the high contrast, the black controller with the green buttons. And, yeah, it's turned out quite well and was very easy to do. But if you want to see the video of me doing that, that was like a 25-minute video. I managed to smash it down and get it under 10 minutes, I think. About 8.
Good stuff.
So that's what I did there. That was good fun. Moving on, I tried Slime Rancher, which is one of the Xbox games with gold games this month.
Yep.
Yeah, that's heaps good.
I must admit, it did look okay. It looked like something that might be a bit, but I'm not. Yeah.
Nah, it'd be all right for our kids, man. It's actually I actually would recommend it for our kids to muck around on. It looks like a bit of fun. It doesn't look hard. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was sucking and blowing at the same time, which is really weird for a game. But basically, you have like a vacuum gun. You suck up all these things and blow them out, and I didn't really give it too much time to work it out. But I reckon your little ones will get a bit of enjoyment out of it. I'm going to leave it there.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
I played more Trolls Fusion.
And
I tried to beat my Dirt Derby time. I quietly turned my PlayStation off before I got to that point of anger.
Good. I was going to say, if you bettered that time, Jesus Christ, I'm done.
No, I haven't bettered that time. I didn't even get close, man. I'll move on again. Nothing too exciting there. I tried Project Cars.
Did you?
I played a little bit of Project Cars last night on the Xbox One because I believe it was a Games with Gold a few months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago, yeah.
Do you know what happened to me? I was playing a track. I was doing a time trial. I'd set a ghost, and I was chasing my ghost, and I was beating my ghost. And the screen went black. I'm like, what happened? What's going on? So I quickly pressed the pause button, and then it went back to the home screen on the Xbox and said, please make sure you own this game. Log in to the account that has the license to play this game. I'm fucking logged in as Luke 1. I own the rights to this game. What's going on? So I looked. Yeah, I'm logged in. My gold's up to date. What's happening? So I clicked on the game again. Took me back into the game, and I kept playing.
My copy of The Crew does that.
On Xbox?
Yep.
Is it digital or disc?
Digital. Games with gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you ever fucking do that when I'm in the middle of something that's important, like a time trial. Because that's a fucking tweet right to Phil at Xbox.
Yeah.
Listen, you fucking rich son of a bitch. Stick your Xbox One up your ass. Let's get your fucking Xbox... Well, your Xbox One X, I should say. Let's get your Xbox One sorted first, shall we?
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm not too competitive with that game.
It's weird. It's the only... The Crew's the only one that's done it for.
See, the PlayStation does that if you're not playing on your primary console.
And you're offline, yeah.
And you lose your internet connection, right?
Yeah.
But what it'll do is, like a trophy, it'll pop up a little message in the top left-hand corner saying, we can't verify your rights to play this game right now. Make sure you save your game because it's going to exit in 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. You got 15 minutes to do what you're doing and wrap it up.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I'm not playing the whole PlayStation's better than Xbox thing here, because there are some things that the Xbox does that is fucking tons better than the PlayStation. But that's one where they've fucked up. Because, number one, I was playing on my home Xbox, which is my primary console.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened. If the internet connection dropped for whatever reason, it still shouldn't have kicked me, because I'm on my primary console. I don't know. Yep. I don't know what happened, but that was weird. An example of things that Xbox does better is the Xbox Game Pass, where you've got PlayStation Now, which doesn't work in Australia because of internet speeds, etc., and it's not available here.
And because our stupid government will never work in Australia.
Yeah, and they're actually going to be renaming PlayStation Now to PlayStation Later, because if there are too many people playing one game in particular, it puts you in a queue. So it says, if a new game comes out, and it's a big popular game, you are 12th in a list in line to play this game. Because it's streamed. You have to stream the game. You can't just download it and play it off your console. So that's one thing where Xbox wins. But this whole cutting me off in the middle of my race, rubbish. Anyway, I'll move on. Where was I up to? Splosion Man we talked about. Now, another Xbox Game Pass game I played, Pat, is Metal Slug XX.
I've downloaded it.
Fuck, those games are good. When are they going to make one that's like proper 1080, like HD graphics, and not just a Neo Geo port? Every single one of the games are exactly the same, but they're really good fun. I like playing them. I played it a few levels.
Just fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The Metal Slug's on there. There's a few Metal Slugs. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, for the couple of 100 meg download, it's, takes a couple of minutes, you've got it. You can play it for a couple of minutes. Don't feel so bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on you go. Yeah.
All right, well, the last two things on my list was Dying Light and Lumo, and we've already talked about those, so I think I'm done.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds like we both had a bit of a good week.
Yeah, we did. We played some games, that means we had a pretty good week. So, anyway, I think that wraps up video game discussion, Snoog. So, how about we go into video game news? All right, first up in the news, the title is Painful Game of Magic. Do you have any idea on what I'm talking about here, or is that too cryptic?
It's intriguing. It's got the filthy part of my brain going nuts.
All right, well, it's kind of not video gamey, but I think it's to the point where people that play video games would be interested in this enough, but it's about Magic the Gathering.
Okay, I'd guessed that.
Yeah, this new item was too good to gloss over. I had to give this. So this is when Magic the Gathering plays on outside of the cards. So this one is out of St. Cloud, which is in the US, of course. Elijah Dale Creech. He's a 31-year-old man who was playing Magic the Gathering in his apartment with a mate of his.
In his underwear, yeah.
Well, probably in his underwear. This bloke himself has called 911 and told the operator saying that I've just stabbed somebody and I think he's going to die.
Oh, God.
Yep. So the police rocks up, finds the victim with several knife wounds to the front of him, side of him, and the back of his neck and cheek area. And police were told that the argument between the two grown men stemmed over Magic the Gathering.
Who the hell gets like that?
Yeah! What, like, is that jealousy?
This person's in your house.
He's supposedly your mate.
It's a mate. Who the hell I
think he was fucking jealous that old mate was playing Magic the Gathering and still had a girlfriend.
Maybe so. Maybe he wasn't, maybe he'd had a shower that week and he was unimpressed by it. I don't know.
Maybe, but he stabbed his mate because there was an argument over the cards in the game. How absolutely ridiculously crazy is that? Only in America. I don't even know how to play the fucking game. Do you know how to play it?
Thorncliffe's tried to teach me a couple of times.
We tried to learn it back in the day.
Yeah, he's ridiculously into it. It's just not my thing. Yeah, but mind you, the community that has stemmed from it, like there's places in our local area that run competitions every Friday night where you've got 40, 50 people in there, and it's a couple of bucks goes in the tinny as you go in. The guys order pizza, they've got drinks, and it's a full social gathering. And Magic the Gathering. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's this full social event, and that side of it I think is absolutely phenomenal. I keep saying to Sean, let me know when you're going down next. I'll come along with you. I want to come and see it. I want to be engrossed in it. I just want to see, what this draw is.
Yeah, well, you do paint a good picture. After what you've just said, fuck, I'll have a stab at it.
Yeah. To get that rolled up, like you and I rage with the best of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rage at games. We swear, we carry on. We've left chat parties because it's just, no, I'm done. See you later.
Yeah,
but to actually get that worked up to stab a mate.
Yeah, I don't think I got that close to stabbing you the other day when we were playing Explosion Man.
No, it was just there was just a few times when the counter just kept going. Like, get your ass over.
Yeah. Well, I'm like,
no word needed to be said. You just kept pushing the button to start the counter again. I'm
going to refill my drink.
Yeah. I'm just still running around. Whee! That's a brilliant bit of news. How did the victim go?
He didn't die. He's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's just a little holy.
Yeah, well, that's it. No life-threatening injuries. He's just in hospital with a few... Well, he's probably out of hospital now.
Well, was someone playing Magic the Gathering? He probably tried to attack him with a butter knife.
Speed holes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not really holes, they're divots.
There you go, pits. But yeah, so he got stabbed over Magic the Gathering. Crazy. All right, let's move on to the next news item. Better together. I think you can smell what I'm cooking here, can't you?
I can indeed. I know exactly where this one's coming from.
Microsoft is kicking goals while others lay in waste. At E3 this year, we heard Microsoft announce that they were unifying Minecraft under the Better Together update, which will allow players from PC, Xbox One, Switch, mobile, and I've written and PC, but I'm pretty sure I said that already, to play together in Minecraft in one arena. There's no PlayStation 4 in there, and that's a shame, but I think Sony have kind of got their heads in their asses with their own success at the moment with that. But going from PC, Xbox One, Switch, mobiles, so Android and iOS, to all play together in Minecraft, that's amazing. I like the idea of that. What do you think?
I've got a little bit of information that says that Microsoft are actually in negotiations with Sony.
Oh, that's a little above and beyond what I have. That's interesting, but I can forecast what's likely to be the outcome.
As can I, but we can always say that it's Sony's the sole sort of holdout with coming to the party for the Better Together update. But apparently they are in talks with it because it's literally just a switch. They've just got to flick a switch to make it happen. Apparently, so it's,
well,
it's possible.
It would be a shame if everything was compatible, but not the PlayStation 4.
But for Minecraft being such a simple game, it's becoming this worldwide phenomenon. Well, it already is really a worldwide phenomenon. There's that many people on Twitch and YouTube and everything that just play it solely and have made these absolutely immaculate worlds
Have you played
be able
it
to go on
properly? I
play it every couple of weeks. When my niece is over, I play it a little bit more because she's 7 years old and actually knows what she's doing.
Because if you play, this is my opinion, if you play Minecraft as the survival game that it actually is at its core, it's actually quite a competent survival game. It's brilliant.
Oh, it is. I've got one that's that I've got going at the moment, which is I went away from trying to be this creative game to actually playing that core survival game on it.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I've got a skin pack, which makes the survival part of it quite funny because it's a Adventure Time skin pack.
Oh yeah.
So I actually run around as Finn, and every time the sun rises, the Adventure Time song goes off.
Okay.
And it just changes everything in the game, makes it a bit funny to look at. But yeah, the core of that survival sense, when you're playing just on the standard sort of setup, and you've got your zombies or your creepers or whatever they're called. I've actually
zombies and creepers, and spiders and skellies.
Yep. Well, there you go. So I've built a house on top of a mountain that I've slowly started to fortify.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few times when I've been caught out at night and been on the other side of the map and had to build literally a little box to try and hide in.
Yeah, you've got to just improvise if you do get caught. Yeah, but you need to either make a box small enough that they can't spawn inside because the mobs can spawn in darkness, so they can still get in even though you don't have a door if it's dark. So if you make it too big, you got to make a torch as well to fill the darkness so they can't spawn in there, or literally make it. I think it's 2 blocks, which is your height. So literally you can just fit in there so nothing else can spawn and nothing can attack you. Little tricks like that. I got into it ages ago. A few years ago, I got right into it with Reprimir. Haven't played it for quite a while, though, properly.
Yeah, but so every now and again, I just, when you get in that mood where it's just like, I just want to switch my brain off for a while and not really think and not really talk to anyone. So I'll go and lie on the couch. It's on my Xbox. And literally just fire it up. And, it looks gorgeous on the big telly and, just nice and easy to just play and sort of have your little world and whatnot. I've got, my house, and then next to my house I've got a plot where I've made like a farm, and then I've fortified that whole area, so I've got traps around it. I've it's coming along quite well.
Well, just think how good it's going to look when the Xbox One X version comes along. Whoa! Minecraft in 4K.
Yeah, doesn't need it.
Taking the piss. Anyway, let's move on with the news, eh?
Indeed.
Last part of the news is the rising prices for digital content. I'm looking at you again, Sony.
Boo, hiss.
So, there's a Netflix tax that's floating around. Netflix had a price rise.
Yes.
It's quite convenient that PlayStation Plus prices have gone up at the same time.
Funny thing is, though, they've gone up worldwide.
Well, that's true. So it's not really just
it's
for
not
us.
Netflix tax. Yeah.
No, it's not. Essentially, they've gone up just because. And the information I've got here, I'll give you the basically what they emailed everybody. From 9:01 Australian Eastern Standard Time on the 31st of August 2017, we are changing the prices of PlayStation Plus. Annually, the price will change from $69.95 to $79.95 per annum. Quarterly, the price will change from $27.95 to $33.95 per quarter. Monthly, the price will change from $9.95 to $10.95 per month. I've got a breakdown here. Now, I did a video, which was the video I put up on the Facebook page about a week ago now. They get over 1,000 views. That's unheard of on our Facebook page.
And 1,000 views, and it had math in it. Like, that's pretty good.
Oh, I know, and I'm glad I actually used a calculator. Otherwise, it would have been embarrassing. But I've got it here, the breakdown. So annually, if you pay annually, it's going to be the most value for money. It's $6.66. So you will, however, buy a one-way ticket to hell, because that's the number of the beast. So $6.66 a month if you pay for it in a year in advance. Quarterly, however, is where we run into some hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay monthly, it's $10.95. Quarterly, per month, it's $11.31. So if you pay for 3 months in advance, which should be a value deal, you're paying 36 cents more than you would if you just paid it every month. Now, I don't know if that's... I would like to think that that's an error.
I think there's a reason for it.
Why is that?
I just think there'd be a reason behind it, whether it be a like something to get information on how people are playing, or generally those of us who know, we are like, to me the price rise goes up to what, $79.95 for months.
Yes,
I'm actually okay with that. We're paying for it. There are a few things that I'd like to see improve within the service for that extra $10 a month for a year.
Yeah,
but I'm not one of these people that sees it as I'm paying $80 a year for PS Plus games.
Well,
I'm paying $80 a year for that service.
You're paying $80 for that service, and they're putting cherry on the top with the free games. But yeah. Do you think that it was a coincidence that they announced the price rise only days after they announced probably the best PlayStation Plus lineup that they've had in years?
No, well, this is where I think there's a reason for it. Mm-hmm. I have this feeling that PS Plus is going to stop offering stuff for either the Vita or the PS3 very soon.
Oh, okay.
And instead of us having, two PS4, two PS3, two Vita games, it'll be, 3 PS4 and probably 3 Vita, because the Vita is still very big in the Eastern market.
Yeah. But something I think that they're going to do to justify the price is, I've heard rumours, and this doesn't really affect us too much, but I've heard rumours around the place that PlayStation or Sony are looking to integrate PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I think Xbox are really starting to win people over with backwards compatibility. There are still a lot of people that think it is pointless. I was always a naysayer until I've actually started getting, like, mainly for games that I've already played. Now that I've actually had my eyes open to a few more stuff that I haven't seen in the past or haven't played before.
Well, this Game Pass makes back compat worth it.
Exactly, yeah. That's really where the value is. Unfortunately, in Australia, I think we're going to, if it goes the way that of the PlayStation Now, what was it? PlayStation Now.
PlayStation Now integrating with Plus.
Yeah. If it goes to the way of PlayStation Now integrating with it, we're going to lose out. Yeah. Unless they come up with some sort of download service.
But what I'm also thinking is maybe the price rise has come at a time where they've released pretty good lineup for the PlayStation Plus, is possibly they're going to justify the jump with high caliber games for PlayStation Plus, maybe?
Yeah, but how long do they last it for?
Well, I don't know. We are, 4? Was it 13?
No, I mean the high caliber games.
No, I know what you mean, but what I'm thinking is that we're 4 years or so into the generation. We can start affording to throw in big games that may not necessarily be brand new, without giving the brand spanking newies away. Early in a generation, it's hard to give away the AAAs because you're trying to sell them.
Well, PlayStation has enough there. That's one thing with this generation. It's leaps and bounds in front of actual, Sony-backed games. There's plenty out there to give away, so I don't see why they shouldn't.
So I'm thinking they may be upping the caliber there, but then they're also maybe that PlayStation Now thing. Also, I'd like them to announce maybe some better servers or a larger amount of servers, which could be a little bit more reliable. But mind you, the Sony servers are fine. Every time I do a speed test, I'm getting really good speeds, like high 80s, mid 90s, right? It's whatever servers are hosting the games on the store. To download things is really slow sometimes. So I'm hoping that there might be some better services coming along for the extra money.
Yeah, but who knows? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Like the service itself is not too bad. I very rarely have a dropout, or I'm waiting too long for it. But yeah, that download speed's something that I hope they rectify.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the news. Snoogans, let's move into user-created content. Alrighty, first up we've got... Well, actually, first I'll mention this week, we've just opened Slather, said, right, anything goes, test us out. Oh, God, that was a mistake. Who was it? We've got George Schneider. I want to see you guys doing music videos to a song from a 90s band, Shirts Optional.
Trust me, mate, shirts are 100% needed.
Yeah, I toyed with the idea. I sat down and I actually storyboarded something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, no, this isn't happening. No.
Yeah.
Not happening.
You can't afford to get Snoogans that drunk.
Do you know what the song was? Did you see the picture I put up on the page as a teaser as to what the song would be?
No, I didn't actually.
It was a picture of petroleum jelly, jam, cheese, napkins, and tissues, I think.
Okay.
Does that ring any bells?
No.
It's pretty cryptic if you don't know the answer, I guess. It was She Don't Use Jelly by the Flaming Lips.
Ah, okay, yep.
Yeah, so...
Makes sense, yeah.
That was the song I was going to do, but then I'm like, no, this can't happen. No, not happening. Sorry, George.
No.
You sicko. All right, so I skipped down to that one to get that one out of the way. Let's go back to the top of the list. Aidan Stewart, he said, what's the one gaming title that you attribute to your love of the medium? Have you put into thought into that, Snoogs?
Mm.
The one gaming title.
Oh, mate, it all comes back to those early ones.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got. I've written down my answer here, and I'm going back to the Atari 2600 because that's my first memory of games. Thanks to Steve, my older brother, who was quite a bit older and had all the cool stuff. Atari 2600, the first game that I believe was mine, I think I got Mum to buy it for me to play on my older brother's console, was called Hero.
Okay.
Now, what Hero was basically, think of Atari 2600 graphics. It was like a side-scroller, up and down scroller, like sort of thing. Actually, it wasn't side-scroller at all. I think it was going down. I think you had to go down and up and all that sort of stuff. But basically, you had a jetpack, and I think you had fuel, and you had to refuel, and you had to fly through all the levels and not run into things. And you had to refuel and all that sort of stuff. So basically, you'd press the button and your jetpack would go and you'd have to press left, right, and then let go to go down and hold it to go up and all that sort of stuff. Really cool jetpack game. So that'd have to be probably the first game that I remember that made me fall in love with video games. But special mentions go for the Atari 2600, Ghostbusters, Phoenix, and Barnstorming.
Yeah, mine don't go that far back. Like I enjoyed. Like we never really had. I don't think I ever actually had an Atari.
You had two tin cans and a piece of string.
Yeah, we had the Amiga 500, which wasn't much more powerful than that. But the games that sort of made me really get stuck into it were probably, you know, the Duke Nukem 3D, the Quake, the Unreal Tournament, Wolfenstein, you know, when those, and Doom, of course.
We're into 486, 686 PC
yeah, we're
days.
talking sort of mid-90s.
Yeah.
You know, just that explosion of first-person shooters, that sort of thing where it was this sort of sensation where it wasn't a character on the screen, it was you were the character on the screen. You know, you were the one watching and doing all this stuff, and it was sort of that first bit of interaction that was very much like you were part of the game. And of course, one of those as well as where I first played my first online match against someone. So it was always that's sort of what got me hooked. You know, I was a big COD player, a big Battlefield player back in the day until I just got too slow to play it. And yeah, it probably all goes back to those ones. Probably, you know, Duke Nukem 3D and Wolfenstein is probably the biggest two.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. Next one I got from Adam Ryle. Not sure if the question's been asked before, but what's your favourite gaming snacks? Adam's is beer and jerky. The spicier, the better. So what are your gaming snacks?
Hard liquor and pretzels. Or, you know, it's most of the time I don't like eating sort of after 7 o'clock at night. Just a weird thing that has always been done. You're a mugwai. Yeah, it's something along those lines. Yeah, so I don't generally eat too much late at night, but yeah, if I do, it's, you know, it's usually pretzels or something along those lines that's with you know, the bourbon and Coke or something, or it's just, yeah, sitting back in a dark room with loud noise and a bottle of water.
See,
pretty boring, really.
Yeah, I don't particularly snack too much. I drink a lot of coffee when I'm playing video games, and my wife makes cakes. So if there's cake leftovers, I'll pinch a piece of cake and have it with my coffee. That's generally what I do. Yeah, not a big snagger. Yeah. And on the odd occasion, if I find, I don't know, my wife might have found a bargain or something, there might be some pizza shapes or something in the cupboard, but we very rarely have that stuff around.
Yeah, we're the same. My little one's not allowed to have it, so that means that none of us are.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Same thing in this house. They can't eat it because they're bloody celiacs, my wife and daughter. Next one we've got here is from Zachary Courtney. What do you think the future of gaming will be like when the PS5 and new Xbox comes out? It's going to be the same as now, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think games will be, more dynamic and interactive. That'll sort of blossom a bit more with a lot of more interactable things in the games. I think VR will either be dead or there'll be a new generation of VR with something to try and push it along further, and it'll probably die another horrible death like Kinect.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4K will probably be the new 1080, and the frame rates will still be shit.
Yeah, I don't really think. I think that it can be seen as a good thing. It can also be seen as a bad thing. But that social interaction that a lot of people get now from gaming, I think that's where it'll be a big step forward. Where PlayStation PlayStation have released the rights to, remember PlayStation Home?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a certain section of that they've actually released the rights to, and sorry, I'm a bit unprepared for the question, but they've released those rights to an outside company who's actually bringing it back online. So you can go in, you can make a new avatar, you can have this full online interaction, and then you've got games that seem to be making the biggest impact are ones where you're playing with a lot of other people. Like look how phenomenal PUBG's gone. Where you've got 100 people and you can talk. If you so choose to, you can talk to every other person on that map. You can actually, and if you're using just an in-game chat, if someone's up on a hill, you can yell into your mic to try and get them to hear you because they're further away. And it's just that I think that's where the next big step's going to be. It's going to be with that interactivity and that social interaction where it can be a good thing because you're starting to make the world even smaller. You're talking to people from all different cultures, backgrounds, and different ways of life. It can also be seen as a bad thing because you don't go outside anymore.
So it's going to be an even larger choice of people that can kill me and teabag me.
Fuck your mum.
Sleep with my mum.
Yeah. Although they're starting to get weeded out, I think. But I don't play COD anymore. So, like, in the Division, you never hear that. In Siege, you get, a squeaker on there. And they usually think it's funny to team kill, so they get kicked off pretty quick and banned. A lot of that stuff's starting to get weeded out, I think.
For the better. All right, next one is from Martin Creamers. Have you tried Fortnite? Also, do you feel that the survival genre has been overdone? I think we've already answered the Fortnite question earlier in the show. Nope, don't have $214 spared. And do you feel that the survival genre has been overdone?
Not by me.
Look, I think the survival genre has got a really good place. I don't think it's been overdone with good survival games. There are a lot of survival games out there, but a lot of them are very passable. Yep. The amount of good ones out there are minimal. So if you want to grab a good one, you can have a really good time with it. One that I'm really looking forward to that's coming out soon on the Xbox One is State of Decay 2. State of Decay was a really good survival game. I think the only thing that it lacked was the co-op ability, which in the State of Decay 2, it's going to have co-op. I'm really looking forward to that. So I think survival games are like zombie games. If they're done well, they're always welcome as far as I'm concerned. If they're just the same humdrum bullshit as the dime a dozen survival game, then yeah, okay. You forget it. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think I'm predominantly console. My PC, all it really does is run a temperature. So actually trying to play a game like DayZ or,
Which
there
sucks.
was, and there was also Rust or The Forest.
The Forest was good.
That was sick, but again, mine was running at about 8 frames, so I couldn't play it. But so for console, I don't think it's been overdone. There has been a couple, and they've been sort of hit and miss. But people who have tried them on PC would probably say that it's getting a bit long in the tooth now. But hopefully, some more survival stuff comes out on console in the future.
Good ones.
Mm.
All right, good question. Thanks, Martin. Last one we got here is from Paul David Clannett. He says here, favourite game title from the past was Better Off Dead Than Alien. I don't get that title. Do you get the title? What's the joke there?
It's just a weird title.
Is it like a play on Better Off Dead Than Alive?
Yeah.
Better Off Dead Than Alien?
Yep.
But anyway, he said,
much.
but the South Park, it was an Atari game, that one, but the South Park games give him a chuckle. Fractured Butthole. Yeah, that's a good name. I like that name. That is good. Fractured Butthole. But what I did is I went out and had a look at, now these aren't games that I've played or knew of. I did just a Google search to find some funny video game names. And I found a dictionary game from the Nintendo DS that was released in 2005. You want to have a stab at what the name is?
No.
They've shortened it down to Touch Dick.
Okay.
So being on the Nintendo DS, it's a touch screen and it's a dictionary. So they call it Touch Dick. Well done, you're an idiot. The next one was, you might have heard of this one, Big Mother Truckers 2.
Yes, Big Mother Truckers. I've played that.
Yeah, and the subtitle to the game is Truck Me Harder. That was on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox in 05 as well. What was with 2005? They just had fucking mental game names.
Just filth.
Touch Dick and Big Mother Trucker. Another one I got here was called How to Be a Complete Bastard.
It's my memoirs.
Yeah, I platinumed that on the Commodore 64. That was released in 1987.
I platinumed that in reality.
So I looked a little bit further into this one. I'm like, fucking, what is this game? The premise is you invade a party for rich folks and demonstrate your boyish skills of being a complete and utter git by, for example... Yeah, this is what it says. By, for example, loosening the screws on the handles of the disabled toilet. I want to play that game.
I'm thinking, where can we get a Commodore 64?
Yeah. Be a complete and utter git. What about this one? This is the last one I got.
Oh,
Rex...
Paul.
Hey?
Yeah, I was going to say, was it Paul that had the...
Cool story, man.
Yeah, sorry, no, it's gone.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
I'll come back to you. Sit down.
Yes,
if you
yep,
remember
I'll
it,
sit
put your
down.
hand up again.
Yep.
The last one I got is Rex Nebula and the Cosmic Gender Bender.
Okay.
1992 on DOS and Mac. That's absolutely stupid. But that's it. Wrapping that up. That was user-created content. So thanks Aiden, Adam, Zachary, George, Martin, and Paul. All good suggestions there, except for George. Yours was shit. Sorry, man. You don't want to see us with our shirts off, you crazy mental beast, you.
Yes, I don't want to see me with my shirt off. So it's
No,
all right.
me
No one else does.
neither. I've got a instead of a mirror in my bathroom, it's actually a massive LCD screen with a camera, so it can automatically blur out my body when I get undressed.
Mine's just a box of tissues, so I'm going to stop myself crying.
I thought it was so you could... No.
No, it's not 2005. Don't do that.
Okay. Yes, right. Okay. Anyway, that's it for user-created content. Let's go to... Whoa! You remember what you were thinking of?
No, it's gone. It's run off.
You are an old bastard. Time for What's That Sound? Alright, Snoogans. You're doing well, man, because you've got 2 from the last 2 from 2. You're doing good. Let's make it 3 from 3, see if you can catch me. Last week we had a sound which was The Division. So you're being looked after by Reprimir. We had a couple of people got it.
Yep.
Actually, just one person got it. It was Bobcat. Robert Bobcat White. Well done to...
Well done, Bobcat.
Bobcat, you got your correctness on that day, so good stuff. And that was it. I think we had a couple of more have a go at it, but weren't correct. So I thought it was an easy one, but I suppose it's only easier if you know the game as well as we do. You know it like the back of your hand, so that was a hand-me-down there from Reprimir. So we'll see if you can get this one. You got the sound ready and primed ready to go, Snoogs?
What'd you send? You didn't send it to me.
I did.
Opening. What's that sound? There you go. Done already. Look at that.
Beautiful. All right, so you got the sound now? We're all good?
I've got the sound now. That's all good.
All right. Let's have a listen to this week's What's That Sound?
They are coming. Go, torch it. Burn it all.
But what about the serum?
Leave nothing. Now I will show you how I deal with informants. Finish him.
With pleasure.
These are the coordinates Ellis sent.
Over there.
Oh. I know that game. Actually, Reprimir's called it. I'd give away double points for this one. Oh, I need to get this. Oh, I know it. That's quite a long one, but I'm going to listen to it again.
Yeah.
They are coming. Go, torch it. Burn it all.
But what about the serum?
Leave nothing. Now I will show you how I deal with informants. Finish him.
With pleasure.
These are the coordinates Ellis sent.
Over there.
I know that voice, the guy that says these are the coordinates. I'm going to have a guess. I don't think I'm right, but I can't think what it is. But my best guess would be Broken Sword.
Broken Sword.
You know those games?
No, I don't.
Okay, they're point and click adventure games. They're pretty old, but I don't think that's right. But to have a guess, and that's what I'm going to say. Oh, but I do know that voice. I believe that once I do find out what the game is, I'll probably be like, oh yes, yep. Of course.
Yes. Well, I've got no idea what it is.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
As for a guess, I've got no idea. I have an answer in front of me.
You've got the answer, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, did you Google it?
Yeah.
Fuck it. What is it?
Oh, I couldn't. I knew it. I've heard it that many times. I'm like, I know this one. It's going to upset me until I find out what it is. So I've got to know.
What is it? Of course, that's the voice. I knew the voice. Way off of the game.
Gerdo.
Yes, there you go. All right, well, a whole shit ton of that was bleeped out except for my guess. Actually, I'm bleeping my guess out too, because that's embarrassing. But if you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, you're an absolute legend. I still have a couple of Xbox One games on hand, so if you're an Xbox gamer and want to have a go at What's That Sound for this week, you can get some Xbox games instead of PC games.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, if you think you know what the sound is, send us a message to our Facebook page with the answer, And if you're correct, I would like to specifically mention a person by the name of Eric Mason. He's the reason why I've got Xbox One codes to give away, because he gave them to us to give away. He said he found them, never used them, and wanted to supply them to us. And I said, we'll make sure we give those away. So thank you very much, Eric Mason. I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but he's definitely a presence on the page. And it's
yes, well, thank you very much, mate. Well done.
Legend. Thanks, Eric. Right. Well, that's what's that sound. So how about now we move on to last words. Right, it's come to that time of the show where we're starting to wind down a little bit, and we've got some last words. I've got a couple that I'd like to get off my chest first, if that's all right.
No, go for it, mate.
We've got a new remastered. We've got a new remastered game on the horizon for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
If I said, "Pata pata pata pong, pata 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 pong," does that ring any bells?
I'd probably have you committed.
Yeah, you probably would. A lot of people out there probably have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. But there's a game I've played before because it was a PlayStation Plus title on the PlayStation Vita, and it's called Patapon. And it's a rhythm game. Where someone will make a noise like pata pata pata, and you need to repeat it. And it's always either pata or pong. And I think there's another few sounds in there as well, but the main one's a patapon. Remastered for the PlayStation 4? What the fuck are they doing, man? Are they just remastering shit for shits and gigs now?
That's a good use of valuable time and money. That's...
They got the work experience kid to do that one, for sure.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, that happened. I've also, this week, I've worked out a line to draw in the sand when you can be classed as an old bastard.
Oh, a line in the sand, hey?
Yep, I've worked out a formula to work out when it is you're an old bastard.
Okay, and what's that?
If you have children. If you don't have children, it doesn't work. When your children
have children, yes, yeah. I'm an old bastard, okay, yeah.
No, there's more to it. When you have children and your child gets to an age where they're old enough to be more successful than you, their father... You're an old bastard.
Oh, what has she done?
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm not an old bastard.
No,
this is a segue into me mentioning that the Heartaches are Paul Clement's son's band.
Yes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of toting around saying he's an old bastard, but I figured I'd be allowed. I don't call Paul an old bastard. That was Red's thing back in the day. But I figured if I was ever going to get away with it, it's by complimenting his son. Last week on the show, which I flat out forgot about because Paul just posted onto the page a link to a band. And I was like, oh, I don't know, what is this? And he said, you should listen to your own show. I'm like, oh, of course, yes, your son, the significant person that you played your games with, LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. Your son plays in a band. He's the lead singer of the band, Australian band, I believe are from South Australia, are called the Heartaches. That's H-A-R-D, Aches. And he's posted a few of their songs to the Aussie Games Express Facebook page. I shared one onto the main wall as well because I was very impressed. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I think Paul would be just glassed over with pride seeing the stuff that his boy does. Absolutely brilliant. However, that does mean, by my little measure, you're an old bastard. But happily so, I would imagine, because, yeah, that's amazing. We're going to try and organise Snoogs for you and me to go and see... you and I, to go and see one of his concerts. The only thing is, we got suggested a concert which is on the 8th of October.
And we're in Queensland.
We're in Queensland, exactly right. So that was a bit of an epic fail. What a shame there. But we're going to organise a time when they're in Sydney, and we're going to go and check them out, because that's a cool band. So if you're listening to this and you like cool Australian music, go and check out the Heartaches. Good music. I liked it.
Indeed.
That's all I've got for last words. Snoogs, what do you got?
All right, well, I've got a couple. This week we've had a release of a new Xbox Wireless adapter, which is coming to PC.
Say that again. You chopped up a bit there.
A new Xbox Wireless controller adapter for PC.
Right, you mentioned that there was a wireless adapter for PC, and I said to you there is already a wireless adapter for PC.
Yeah, so
what am I missing?
It's a new version of it. It's pretty much allows Windows 10 users to play Windows-based games with the Xbox One controllers. Previously, it's been more preferred to use the Xbox 360, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is designed to pretty much phase out the use of the 360 controllers. It's a bit of a different sort of dongle as well, better connectivity, and we'll actually have support for up to 8 different controllers. So why you'd want 8, I don't really know. The information I've got comes out on August 8th.
Well, you might want to play that penis game. What was that penis game called that I reviewed?
Genital Jousting.
Genital Jousting, I think you can play in 8 players. Get a bit of cock amongst you. Not in Australia, though.
Right. Not at all. Price comes up at $24.99. I'm not sure if that's US or not, though.
I think that'd be about right for Australia. I think they're about $30 here for the. I'll look it up if you want to keep going.
Yes. So that's it for the Xbox controller. So yeah, it's designed to come out. That's coming out on August 8th, and apparently you can pre-order it already from Microsoft. So get on over if that's your thing.
The current one is $30, $29.
Okay, so it'd be about the same, yeah.
I would imagine it would be the same. It would probably replace this one. Yeah.
Also, starting Tuesday, August 8th, and ending on the 29th of August, Overwatch is bringing back the Summer Games event that started their event schedule last year.
Yeah.
So it's a soccer-style game mode, Lucio Ball. Allows 2 teams of Lucios. Blizzard's also adding a Sydney map and making a few tweaks to help with some of the matches. There's also some new Summer Game skins available, in addition to the last year's skins coming back at reduced prices. So we've got new 2017 Summer Games cosmetic items. Legendary skins will be 3,000 credits. Epic skins will be 750. Rare tier 225, and common tier will be 75 credits. Those who play Overwatch probably know a whole lot more about that side of things than I do, but something a bit cool as well.
Yeah, I looked up this after you mentioned it to me, and I don't know if I read it correctly, but did people complain last year that you couldn't purchase these things?
Yeah, to keep.
You can't buy them. They were complaining that there weren't enough microtransactions in a game. What is this fucking bizarro world? What is going on? That's massively backwards.
Well, it is a Blizzard game. It seems to be their own sort of entity.
So now they've gone, oh, well, fuck yeah, you can buy them now. You can buy last year's now at a normal price, and you can buy this year's at an exorbitant price. Fucking well done. Anyway, whatever. I thought that was weird.
I've got one more for you.
All right.
One that I haven't told you about yet, because I thought I'd keep it as a bit of a surprise.
Sneaky secret.
So, have you heard of the China Joy Expo?
No.
No? All right, let's say pretty much an expo that's based in China and run by Sony.
Get out.
Who would have thunk it? So out of this year's expo, which was I think roughly a week or so ago, that all wrapped up over in Shanghai, we have some PlayStation VR titles on the way. So four new titles in particular. The Asian market is very big in VR, and that's where a lot of the are coming from. So hopefully they can start sort of showing around a few more things, which would be pretty good. So we've got one game called Stifled. Take the role of a character who's battling the eerie consequences of a tragic event, which is pretty much a horror game which you're fully engrossed in. The world becomes darker as you go through it, where it becomes like an outline sketch of everything that you're looking for. So that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
One called The Walker. It's a fantasy combat tale. You're a distant descendant of an ancient family whose mystical mix of swordsmanship and sorcery hasn't diminished through the ages, which is just as well as the world needs saving from demonic militia. Could be kind of cool.
Could be. We'll see.
Kill X is a claustrophobic thriller set on a secret island. Uncover horrifying experiments on huge subjects by an organisation determined to realise immortality no matter the cost. So that could be something a bit cool. And then there's one called Legion Commander, which is a real-time strategy game, but looking at it, it looks like it's just a
camera.
Yeah, you know, when they use the VR headset as the camera. Yeah, that's a waste of time, really.
Yeah.
So there's a couple there that's coming through. There's a bit of information that more will be coming and more will be getting released between now and PlayStation Experience in December. So hopefully it's hopefully they've still got a bit on the horizon for us, and hopefully they're worthwhile.
Come on, Tony, let's push it. Let's do something awesome for VR. Let's bring it home.
Indeed.
Let's make it worth buying. All right, well, that is it. That is about everything that we've got for this week's show, episode 180. Thank you very much, Snoogans. Thank you very much to everybody that contributed towards this episode for user-created content and other bits and pieces. And thank you very much to everybody that listened to the show that I may have insulted along the way. But that's all we've got. I'm saying thank you for the last time because I tend to repeat myself a few times. I am Lucas.
And I am Snoogs. See you on the next one.
Catch us all next time. Bye-bye. That's it. We are finished for another week. We are packing up our bat and ball and we're going home. If you're keen for more content before the next show, then head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. And check out our website at www.aussiegamersexpress.com. We are also on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and every other social network that you can think of. Except that weird one that no one uses. You know the one. This podcast is also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. See you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.